All right, what's up, swing traders? We're going to do our watch list for August 27th, and quite a bit here that does look strong. Markets are holding up for us. We'll go ahead and jump right in with the SPY, which is currently holding our 9 EMA, which we did want to see here. We're a few days off of Powell's speech, and we said we wanted to allow this to play out just a bit, see the reaction, right? We got the big ripper on the day of him delivering his speech out there in Jackson Hole, being slightly dovish. Or open to being so, right? And so what we've got is inside day, and then we had a hold of 9 EMA, and we are pushing back up, right? It looks good, looks solid. IWM is also looking quite good, pushing back up, and RSP remains right at that breakout level, so we'd like to see a push in that to suggest more positioning right outside of the Mag 7. So real quick, let's look at the ARC ETF here. This is Kathy Wood's speculative, a lot of pre-revenue stuff here. We've got a good setup happening here. Possibly a push on this would be positive, and then we can look at Granny as well. These are more growth stocks, right? They do actually have growing revenues, but anyways, these are two growth stock and speculative spaces, ETFs made up of a bunch of those kind of companies, and when you see momentum in those, along with the IWM, it's a good sign for the market, right? Good sign of where we could be going with a lot of what is on our Focus 50 is built up of growth names. We like to trade the leaders backed by growing fundamentals, okay? So we trade with the positioning of Wall Street, the big money, the institutions, right? We like to have them be the wind at our backs in our positioning. For my own risk profile, I am nearly maxed out. I could maybe do one more trade. As far as we're in a risk profile B, I would say that we're currently in a market risk profile B. If we do break to new highs and continue that trend, I could possibly open my mind to adding more than one position. But I added NBIS on Monday, and I added NET yesterday. I've got my longer term stuff, so I'm at about 40% exposure. I don't know that I need to go above that until we get some additional confirmation that we are going to resume a strong trend, which signs are pointing towards that possibly happening. We'd love to see it. But there are some nice things setting up that I would like to go through with you here today. We've got Dash that could trigger. I was looking to maybe take this yesterday, but I took NET instead. Anyways, this is a beautiful setup, okay? We've got a strong trending stock. We get a retracement reaction at or around our level and a remount here of the 9. So some strength today, getting through yesterday's high could be a trigger. With your stop just below the 50 would be my trade there. And you've got prior all-time highs here above and recent high above that. Quite a nice trade here. I think there's some good opportunity for, I'd say, at least a 3-to-1 on this trade. All right, and we've got Hood with recent highs above and a remount of the 9 is a trigger on it. Shop, a breakout pullback. Earnings play pullback, right? And we're seeing some strength here. It is trying to get up over the 9, and I think maybe above this range here. The 142.75 area, 143 area, I would say could be a trigger for you on Shop. Palantir, I like a lot, frankly. Every time this thing sells off, it's been squeezing for years, right? I've stayed out of it for most of this move. I'd have to say regrettably at this point. But hey, look, at the end of the day, we've got a strong trending stock that gives us a pullback, reaction at or around our level, and a remount of the 9 is a trigger on Palantir that I may take. Spotify, over the 50 looks good to me. VRT, VST, they're not in the same sector, but they're so similar in ticker name that I always group them together. Anyways, both of them look good, and both of them look similar here for a trigger on RRR. I mean, beautiful setups there. All right, I like those a lot. CEG, I like as well, back over the 50. IONQ, I like as well, back over the 50. ANET, I like. This is very similar to my entry on NET yesterday. I like this a lot. I would say through yesterday's Monday and yesterday's high, that looks like 330, 135 area is a trigger for me on ANET. I like it a lot. DraftKings is something that I am beginning to look at a possible box breakout on. Just so you guys know, this is something we will likely revisit. I don't want to take an anticipatory trade on it, but what I am looking at here is possibly us breaking out of this range, come back, retesting it, showing strength, and going again. I would buy that. Okay, so somewhere in this area, I would buy a move like that. Okay, yeah, that's it. I think for the watch list, guys. Market risk profile B. All right, stay cautionary. If you don't really have any positions on, there is quite a bit to like here. I don't hate the idea of adding, but like I said, I'm at about a 40% exposure. I don't go over 60 at any time. 50, 60 I don't like to roll into unless we're risk profile A, which I need to see a little bit more out of the market. Let me show you what I would consider a risk profile A scenario. So breaking to new highs, I would say, would put us into that. Something on breaking to new highs, right, and then just continuing a trend up. I would need to probably see a sustained trend, a move sort of like this, right? Not just break and come back in. I would need to see it actually put a trend. So kind of as we did here, where it broke to all-time highs and then it went sideways and rolled over, I wouldn't want to get into that, right? And that is why we're in a risk profile B, because I see a possibility of that happening again. But if we do get on trend and start to actually move a bit, then I would certainly be okay with going up to a risk profile A and going 50 to 60% exposure. But guys, you've got seasonality at play here, right? September, historically not the strongest month. So look, let's not go crazy. Let's not get chopped up in this market. Obviously, take positions. We are breaking possibly to all-time highs. We should be speculating here a bit. We should be taking some entries, but stay controlled, right? Size properly and make sure we don't get chopped up so that when we do roll into an A or, historically the fall, late fall is a very strong time in the market. So we want to make sure that we're ready to make quite a bit of good money there and end the year strong at the end of Q4. So guys, a lot to look at here. Dash, Hood, Shop, Palantir, Spot, VRT, VST, CEG, INQ, and ANET all look very, very good to me for RRR setups.